That protest slogan from the 60s, "The whole world is watching," well, it's never been as true as it is right now. The pictures from inside these protests that the news media show often originate from social media. And while police are increasingly getting called out these days for their behavior, remember, we can now see more of their behavior than ever before, and they are under close scrutiny, as NBC's Mike Taibbi reports.
In Washington, D.C., a disabled man is pulled from his wheelchair and dropped on the ground, his head wound bleeding profusely and later requiring stitches. Police say he'd been cited for public drinking and assaulting a police officer, but a bystander's cell phone camera only saw what it saw.
He's in a wheelchair. What is going on?
In Utah last Thursday, a group of football fans go into the haka, a Polynesian battle cry familiar to some sports teams, and are pepper sprayed by police. At the start of New York's Occupy Wall Street protests, a police inspector fires his pepper spray canister at a clearly nonviolent crowd. A woman standing on her own property while taping a traffic stop arrest.
"This is my front yard. I'm just recording what you're doing. It's my right."
Is herself arrested when she refuses to move.
"I'm observing what they're doing and they're arresting me. I don't understand what's going on."
What is understood by the ACLU is that while there may not be more of these incidents, more of them without question are being caught on tape. That raises some next-level issues in the age-old interactions between law enforcement and the public.
For the first time in our history, 80% of the population are carrying video cameras around in their pockets with them, in smartphones.
Of course, law enforcement officials know that, and they're using the same technology and social media for their purposes. After rioters looted London and other British cities this past August and attacked police with various homemade explosives, officials turned to former New York and L.A. Police Commissioner Bill Bratton, who said use all that video against the lawbreakers.
We're in the age of Big Brother. He is here. 1984 has arrived in 2011.
Get out of here! Bratton says it does drive him crazy when cops go after citizens shooting video.
If you're doing the right thing, what the hell do you care if the whole world is filming it?
But it is also true that civilians in this post-9/11 world are arming themselves with tasers and mace and pepper spray, and that much of the video posted for the world to see only shows what's always been true about how legitimate police work often looks.
We have an expression in policing, lawful but awful. Unfortunately, certain police actions, when they have to use force to make a lawful arrest, don't look good.
Now, about some of the cases we showed you, the woman arrested for taking video from her own front lawn had the charges against her dropped. The NYPD inspector who fired pepper spray at those clearly non-threatening Occupy protesters was transferred and could face some loss of pay. But the two Washington, D.C. cops who pulled the man from his wheelchair so far have faced no charges and are back on the job. Brian?
Great reporting tonight. This issue isn't going anywhere for now. Mike Taibbi, thanks as always.